Hey guys, I'm making a response video to Laura. Her channel name is Loretta Bear, and today she made a video about priorities, and she asked for some advice on how we set priorities and handle that issue. And it's funny because that's been on my mind a lot as well. A little bit about my background. This year has been a major year for me. Two major life changes of having my first daughter, becoming a mom, and quitting my job to be a full-time homemaker. So with quitting my job to be a full-time housewife has come a lot of freedom to do so many good things and productive things, and it's been difficult and overwhelming for me to choose what to focus on. I tend to be a perfectionist, and at the same time I'm a dreamer and a goal setter, and a lot of times, I never start projects because I'm afraid that I would fail at them or they wouldn't turn out the way I wanted them to. I'm also a planner, and I really enjoy planning, but I have to kind of balance that because sometimes I try and plan for too far advance in the future when there's things on my to-do list for today that aren't getting done. So that's kind of a little bit about me. And what has recently prompted this soul searching and thinking about priorities and some life changes is the fact that my daughter will be 1, and so much of this year has been all about her, and that's been a good thing. But I need to kind of bring myself back into balance. Focus on my marriage and our family unit as a whole. Also, I'll be celebrating my 6th wedding anniversary next month, and just the fact that that's a pretty long time, and there's so many things that my husband and I still want to achieve and do, and being on vacation for 3 weeks and being just renewed and refreshed and wanting to go back home and get a good start and finish out the year strong have all brought me to this point of thinking a lot about priorities this week. So I am interested in a lot of things. I'm interested in homemaking, homesteading, gardening, homeschooling, reading, blogging, homeopathy, natural medicine, nutrition, organization, debt-free living, interior design, you name it. I'm all about those things, and I love to learn. I love researching things, and I can spend a lot of time on those types of things, and those are all really good things to be involved in. Those are productive things. It's not like sitting on the couch all day watching TV. Those are really good things to be involved in, but I've had to kind of take a step back and think about the bigger picture. And if I am spending a lot of time planning a homeschooling curriculum for 3 years down the road when my kitchen is a mess and I have no idea what is for dinner, there's something out of balance, and that's not a good thing. And I've been there and done that and find myself doing things like that on a regular basis. So I am still working on this and fleshing this issue of priorities out in my own life. So this video isn't about how, I've achieved everything. It's about what's going on in my life and my thought process on this. So after looking at all of my interests and things that I want to be a part of my life, I kind of boiled it down to what my #1 personal goal is, what I feel like my calling is, and have kind of narrowed down what my personal priorities should be surrounding that one priority, that one goal. And for me, that has to do with the environment of my home. I want to create a Gan Eden, a Garden of Eden, an oasis in my home for my husband to come home to at the end of a long day, and for my children to grow up in, and for anyone who enters my home to feel and experience. So, that in itself is a pretty lofty goal, and that takes a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of effort. So I've kind of narrowed it down. That is the foundation of what I'm going to build my schedule and my time and activities around. Creating that tranquil, simple, stable, godly atmosphere in my home. So, like the subcategories that come off of that, for that to be a possibility in my home has to center around God and around Torah. In order for that to happen, I've got to set aside, personal time to make sure that I'm in tune with Hashem, and I'm reading the weekly Parsha, and I'm studying, because you can't pour anything out if you're empty. So I won't be able to, minister to my husband or my children if I haven't taken that time to make that a priority in my life. So that's number one. Torah observance has to be a priority in my home. So my activities and my planning and my grocery shopping and everything has to revolve around Torah observance and preparing for Shabbat and not waiting last minute and being stressed out. I want it to be a special day for my family. And I also noted that when it comes to, God and service and ministry, you have to remind yourself that your family is your ministry. A lot of times I think it's easy to feel down on yourself, if you're not taking meals to every sick person in your congregation or every mom that just had a baby, which, those are great things we should strive to do. Those are mitzvahs. But putting a healthy meal on the table for your husband and your children is also ministry. So the second category that relates to creating a stable and peaceful home environment is focusing on my husband and on my marriage, which I have really done terribly at. Since having my daughter, it's all been about her, making sure she's taken care of, and I've really failed pretty bad at making sure that there's still time for us at the end of the day. So that's something I'm definitely going to be working on when I get home. And I've talked to him, and I asked him, what do you want when you come home from work? What can I do to serve you and create that environment for you? And his response was, he just loves to come home to a nice clean house and a meal on the table, and if I get to it, he asked for help just managing finances a little more. So those are that was my husband's response to my question when I asked him, what can I do to serve you? What do you want me to focus on? I also think it's important for me to help him in his observance of Torah and making sure that he gets time to study after he comes home from work. I'm so eager to spend time with him and for him to play with our daughter, but I need to make sure that he has some time to relax and take it easy and read and do whatever he needs to do to unwind. So, and regarding my daughter, my priority is to nourish her body and soul. So again, that goes back to just making good meals and spending time with her, teaching Torah, imbuing godliness, engaging her mind, and encouraging learning in our home. Those are, I think, all elements to creating that home environment. That's my priority and my goal. So anything outside of all of these things, for me right now, is an extra that I can't even focus on anything else until these things happen. And my list is quite long. I mean, that takes a lot of energy and a lot of myself to make that happen. So for right now, those are my priorities, and it's good to kind of reevaluate where you are every couple of months because life changes and things happen. I think it's really important to remember, especially as a mom of little ones, that there are seasons to life. And whatever season you're in right now is not going to last forever. One thing that I feel really strongly about is hospitality. My parents host guests every Friday night for Shabbat dinner, and I have felt bad about not doing the same in my home and struggling to get meals, just done for my own family, let alone having dinner guests. But I had to take a step back and realize, I have a little baby that goes to bed at a certain time every night, and I'm nursing. It's a lot for me right now to try and focus on hospitality, but that doesn't mean that can ever be a priority in my life. That just means it's not a priority right now. I would love to garden and get into more, homesteading and prepping type things. But I'm currently in an apartment, and I don't have a yard, and I don't have a lot of space, and I'm not set up to do that right now. And that's okay. That doesn't mean I can never do that. It just means it's not a priority right now. So it's just important to remember, that there are seasons to everything. And just because you can't do something right now doesn't mean that you can never do it. And I have to remind myself of that. And you can still focus on other things and other interests that you have. My new daily practice will be just making sure that everything's clean and that I have dinner going before I start any project or any other activity. That's going to be, I think, the way it has to be. Look at my notes. I mentioned limiting distractions. For me, I've really cut back on my Twitter usage and Facebook usage. And when reading that book, the Large Family Logistics, she talked about setting an internet day, which I think may be a good thing for me. If I just kind of keep a list throughout the week of things that I want to look up and research, and do it on a specific day, I think it reduces the amount of time that you spend chasing rabbit trails. And you may get on the internet to look up something one day, you're looking for something specific, but you see, the MSN headline or whatever, and you click on that and it takes you down an hour-long rabbit trail. But if you set aside a specific day or time to do your internet research, you kind of limit the opportunity for all those rabbit chasing journeys. So I may start doing that. As far as Pinterest goes, I love Pinterest. I think it's awesome. But before I pen anything, I've tried to really ask myself, do I need to do this? Do I want to do this? Why would I want to do this type of thing? And not just pen everything that I see on my little list of people that I follow. And I've made it a personal goal to do 1 or 2 Pinterest projects each month, and that kind of gives me a little sense of satisfaction that I'm accomplishing something and I'm being productive and I'm doing something that I enjoy doing with my time. As far as YouTube goes, I can do better with that, with the amount of time I spend watching videos, but I try to subscribe and follow only. I'm very selective on who I follow and whose videos I watch, and so I try and watch people that whose videos I enjoy and whose videos inspire me and encourage me. So that's how I handle that. And you just have to, remember to do one thing at a time, to do the next right thing, to not make anything, an idol, putting anything before God or before your family. And just, keep remembering about the seasons to life, and that, this season of having little kids is just a season, and remembering that your family is your ministry. And I'm all about faking it till you make it. So anyway, that's kind of what I've been thinking about along the lines of setting priorities and goals. Hope that encourages you, and I will talk to you guys later.